What's going on, guys? It's Tuesday night. It is time to talk about some stuff. Hope everybody's doing well. Today, we're going to talk about why, if you're on keto, you're in a better position to do things to get in shape than if you're on any other diet. Okay. But before we get into the benefits of keto and trying to get in shape and improve your fitness, I want to remind you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Make sure that you click on the bell so you're notified every single time that I put out a new video. There's a new video every Tuesday night when I go live, and at least one video later on the week, Friday afternoon in general. But most importantly, your social contract with me, what I want you to do is to take this video and share it with somebody. Any information that you get out of this, if it's beneficial to you, it's going to be beneficial to someone else. And I ask that you share this information with other people so we can spread the word about what real health and nutrition is, what real fitness is, and how important it is to improve your fitness freedom and your physical ability to do things every single day. Okay. So let's get started, guys. We're talking about keto and why keto is better if you're trying to get in shape. Okay. First thing let's talk about is what is getting in shape. We'll talk just real briefly. We'll talk about the idea of improving your fitness, improving your quality of life, and the fact that when we go on this journey to improve our quality of life, we often think about it in terms of I need to lose fat, I need to lose weight. I don't like how I look. There's a lot of different substitutes for the real reason that we like to use. The real reason you want to lose fat is not because you just randomly, I just want to lose fat. You want to lose fat because it's creating an environment that you don't like to live in. It's keeping you unhealthy. It's restricting you from doing things that you want to do, right? It's keeping the confidence you have in what your body is able to do low, right? So there's a lot of factors that go into why you want to lose fat. And it has nothing to do with just losing fat. What you're trying to do, at the root of what we're trying to do here is improve our body's ability to function and perform activity. Okay. And that activity is living your life, right? So we talk about the quality of life, and the way that we get better at helping our body live our life and function in our daily activities is eating good stuff and training our body to be able to handle the stresses of our everyday life. That's where fitness comes in. Okay. We have a fitness side and we have a nutrition side. They both need to work together. And that's why when you're doing keto, you're in a better position to start doing the fitness side. Okay. So that's the basis. You got to understand one of the benefits of keto when we talk about why it's good to do with fitness. Okay. The ketogenic diet is the closest diet you can get, minus carnivore. Okay. But carnivore's keto, whatever. We'll say keto carnivore. Okay. The ketogenic diet is about as close as you're going to get to optimal nutrient density, optimal bioavailability, and optimal satiety in what you're eating. Your body is going to get everything that it needs to perform efficiently. Okay, we'll talk about what that means in a second. Every other diet, we're talking about why keto is better. Every other diet that you get to, that you try to do, that gets you further away from the keto diet, okay? Paleo, Whole30, Mediterranean, West Coast, all these different diets, okay? They are better than the standard American diet, but they are not as close to the center of the target as you can get. Okay. Here's why. Here's one of the biggest things about them. Okay. Most of those other diets also include an element of caloric restriction. You do not need to worry about caloric restriction almost at all when we're talking about doing a whole foods based, well-formulated ketogenic diet. Okay. If you just eat what you can that keeps you nutrient dense, bioavailable, and satiated, eat till you're full. If you're choosing the right foods, you don't have to worry about the calories. Your body will auto-regulate. You will lose the fat. And at the same time, you're going to do a whole bunch of other things that will improve your performance. Okay. Now, when I say performance, I mean your ability to live every day. Okay. But that bleeds into what we're going to do to get better at living every day, day to day, and improving the components and characteristics of fitness, right? We talk about fitness, strength, agility, flexibility, coordination, balance, accuracy of movement, stamina, endurance, right? Power, speed. All of these things are things that we need in order to live every day. Particularly as we get older and those things start to diminish, we need to work harder to maintain our ability to be physically independent. Okay. And that's where this comes in. Okay. Let's talk about the first thing. The ketogenic diet is the best diet for reducing inflammation. We already know this. There's nothing new here. We've heard this all before. We understand that when you are fat adapted, there is less oxidative stress. If anybody's looking this kind of stuff up, look up oxidative stress, look up antioxidants, look up reactive oxygen species. Okay, there's basically oxidative stress, reactive oxygen species are basically the same, different words for the same thing. Antioxidants are those things that we eat to help reduce oxidative stress. Okay, there's a lot of information out there, particularly in the last 5 to 10 years, about how being fat adapted, being ketogenic, removing carbs from your diet reduces oxidative stress, reduces the need for antioxidants. If you don't do things that cause stress, you don't need to do extra things to reduce stress. Okay, that's what the ketogenic diet does. Primarily whole foods, low carbs. Okay, adding fat, that's a whole different conversation. We can talk about that or not, but it's primarily the reduction and the removal of processed foods and the reduction and removal of carbs. That's where the inflammation and the stress comes from. Okay, what does that mean? What we're doing is we're removing things from our body that keep it from working like we want it to work. So then when we take those things out, we clean the gears up, we get all the gunk out of there, that everything can move freely. Now, when we go to do something, it's easier. It works better. We're more efficient. Okay. I haven't even gotten into the aspects of getting stronger gears or bigger gears or better bolts and better spark plugs and doing the things to actually make the performance improve. You're going to get an end result of better performance simply by cleaning up what you're putting into the system. Okay. So that right there, just going ketogenic, the number one thing, you're going to be able to work and do exercise with, guess what? Less soreness and a faster time to recovery. That's where the reduction of inflammation comes into fitness. The more ketogenic you are, the more fat adapted you are, the more work you can do without getting sore because your body's better at doing the work. Okay. And the more frequently you can do things because you don't have to recover as long because you're not destroying your body as much every single time you stress it a little bit. Okay. The stress from exercise is good. It's called hormetic stress. We're supposed to have that. It's good for us. It creates a stimulus that says we need to get better. And then our body responds and gets better. Okay. If we have inflammation, it's harder for that response to happen. It takes longer for that response to happen because our body's not efficient as efficient as it could be. Reduce inflammation, increase the amount of work you can do, reduce the recovery time it takes after you do the work. Okay. That's one reason why if you're keto, you're in a better position to start doing something fitness related. Okay. We're talking about performance, right? We're talking about performance in your body's ability to do things every day. There's another word for the phrase do things. Okay. It starts with a W, ends in a K. When you're doing things, you are doing work. Okay. You are generating energy to move things. Okay. Sitting here in my chair, just not doing anything, isn't doing anything. Right. Even if I am sitting at my computer typing away on conference calls or doing something on my computer all day, I'm still moving. I'm using energy. I'm generating energy. I'm moving my fingers. I'm tapping the keyboard. I'm moving my mouse. I have to still function and utilize energy. Okay. If you're not in a good metabolic state, then that is going to take more energy and not produce as much result as if you get into a good metabolic state. Okay. The healthier you are, Okay. The more efficient your body works, the more work you can do. It's pretty simple. Okay. How does that translate into fitness? Well, what we're really talking about, we're not even talking about fitness. We're not talking about exercise. What we're talking about is those little engines in our cells, mitochondria. Okay. The energy that they generate is what helps us move and do work. Okay. So when we're fat adapted, what happens to our mitochondria? Our mitochondria are happy. They're happy. They work better on fuel. They don't create as much oxidative stress. They reproduce more. Okay. They work better. They're able to produce more energy. Okay. Just think about the idea that just in general, not even talking about mitochondria, let's just talk about the energy that you get from 1 gram of fat versus 1 gram of carb. Okay. Fat burns easier and you get over twice the amount of energy per gram. Right. So the idea of being ketogenic, being fat adapted, making the literal engines that make energy for you to do work happy means that your ability to do things physically increases right off the bat. Okay. So less inflammation, happy mitochondria. Two things. First two things about why being keto is really good if you're trying to get in shape. Okay. So talking about the benefits of being ketogenic. Okay. Ketogenic, right? If I'm in ketosis, I'm making ketones. That's a fuel, right? I've got all this stuff going on. Guess what? One of the byproducts of mitochondria making ATP is. Okay. ATP is the actual fuel that makes your muscles move. Okay. But one of the byproducts of being ketogenic and your mitochondria being happy and making energy is lactate. Okay. Lactate, we commonly in the fitness world, we talk about the lactate threshold. Okay. When you feel that burn, you're working out, you're doing some reps, you start to feel that burn. And even though you feel like you've got energy, you feel that burn and your muscle just kind of starts to slow down. Hey, Christina, how you doing? What's up, Maitreya? You start to slow down those reps and you just feel like I just can't do anymore. Okay. Lactic buildup prevents that work from happening. Now, here's the thing. There's a couple things about lactate when you're ketogenic versus when you're carb fueled. Okay. Number one, you produce less because your body's burning ketones, not glucose. Okay. Number one. Number two, your body is more efficient at utilizing the lactate on the back end to then go help in the process of, you ready? Wait for it, gluconeogenesis to make glucose to be used as fuel as a secondary source of fuel. Okay. When you're ketogenic, your body creates less lactate, which means you can do more stopping as much. You don't need to stop as much. And on the back end, it's helping with adding to the fuel process. Okay. You are more efficient with the fuel that you're burning. So not only are you getting more fuel, more energy per gram because the fuel that you're using is more energy dense. Okay. But you're not making as much of the byproduct of that that's going to slow down the amount of work that you can do. And when you do make that, you're more efficient at flushing it back into another system that can help you generate more fuel. Okay. It's crazy how this stuff works, guys. Okay. A side note, this is another reason. Hey, what's up, Lashang? This is another reason why we don't need to think about exogenous glucose. Your body will utilize other elements in order to make glucose. You don't need to eat glucose when you work out. You don't need carbs to work out and fuel yourself. Your body will make it. If your body is asking for glycogen, if you're doing work in the glycolytic pathway and you are a ketogenic athlete, then you have some variability and the ability to be metabolically flexible because your body is primarily using fuel, fat for fuel. But when it needs it, it's got lactate, it's got pyruvate. There's things that it can pull, including protein, although not as much, okay, into the process of gluconeogenesis to create glucose when it's needed. Okay. And I want you to think about that. That's why we don't need to eat carbs. Our body will make them. Okay. Something to think about that. And then also, in case you didn't catch this, gluconeogenesis, maybe a topic for another video, is not just about turning protein into glucose. Look up the definition of gluconeogenesis. It is the process of using other substrates than carbohydrates. Nowhere in the definition of gluconeogenesis does it say it is a process of using just protein to make glucose. Something to think about. Do some research on that. Okay. Fourth thing. No, that was the fourth. That was the third thing. Fourth thing. Okay. Part of the process, and you guys know that I'm huge on protein. Okay. We're going to talk about it right now, Claire. Yes, you read my mind. You know that I'm huge on protein. Okay. Protein is what you need to build muscle. Okay. There's only two things you need to build muscle: adequate protein, and then weight training, resistance training, moving weight so that your body knows, hey, I'm being asked to do this a lot. I need to probably have more muscle than I do now so I can do it and make it easier. Okay. That's what working out is. You're working out is saying, I'm stressing my body. I'm creating a response to that stress, which is I need more muscle. And then my body grows more muscle. Okay. If you want to make that process happen faster and have a better result, okay, then what you want is you want to be as often as possible in an anabolic state. Okay. Talked about the difference between the anabolic processes and catabolic processes. Okay. Anabolic processes are all those things that our body does in order to grow and repair and get ready to do more activity again down the road. Okay. You hear me talk about sleep all the time. Sleep is the best time. It is the most anabolic time that we have. Growth hormone, insulin-like growth factor, testosterone, all those things are higher when we're sleeping. That's when our body is doing its repair and recovery. Okay. If you want all your hormones to be at their optimal level, then a whole foods, animal-based ketogenic diet is where you need to be. You need saturated fat. You need that cholesterol because cholesterol is the precursor for testosterone. Cholesterol is the precursor for testosterone. Guess what else cholesterol is? Cholesterol helps fight inflammation. So go back to point number one. Okay. If you're eating a whole foods diet, not only are you closer to nutrient density, bioavailability, and satiety, and not only are you reducing oxidative stress, but you're getting more cholesterol, which is going to help manage whatever additional inflammation you do have to deal with, which will also tie into your ability to recover after workouts faster. It's a big loop, guys, and it all fits together. It all fits together. Okay. Claire, we'll talk about that. Try to remind me before I end. I'll talk about your question about protein and running out of energy. Okay. So if you want to optimize your endocrine system, the hormones in your body, eat that meat, guys. Get that fat in. Do something good for your body. You're going to optimize the time when you're anabolic. You're going to get the most out of that time, building and growing. Okay. That's going to, again, we're talking about fitness, but this all goes back to what can you do every day? Remember, they tie in together. Okay. That's it. I'll just recap. And this is the biggest thing I want you to remember. If you're going ketogenic and your goal is simply to lose fat, listen to this video as many times as you need to and understand that that is not really what you're trying to do. What you want to do is you want to focus on improving your metabolic health. Your fitness, there's a couple things here, guys. Your ability to do work, your fitness level is a direct correlation to your health. When you are unhealthy, it is hard to do work. Okay. The better you get at doing work, the more healthy you're going to be. Okay. What does it take to improve your body's ability to do work? Proper nutrition and exercise. They go hand in hand. You cannot do one without the other. Okay. That is why being ketogenic is perfect for starting a fitness program. If you're ketogenic, you are on the right path. Get started with that fitness. Start doing things. I've got other videos on what fitness is, why it's important, how to get started. Obviously, I have a program that you can get on and you can start doing and follow. Beginners, intermediate, it doesn't matter. There's some people here on the chat right now that have used it. But just keep that in mind, okay? If you're keto, you are primed. Let's get that fitness going, okay? All right. Hey, Pat, how you doing? Watch the replay. Hi, Pat. Hi, Terry. Okay, so Claire, you asked a question. I eat a lot of protein, but run out of energy when working out. Okay, a lot of information that I probably could ask, and I don't really know all about your situation. Okay, but I'm going to just give you a couple pointers and tips. Okay, number one, make sure you're getting enough fat in the day. You don't need to prioritize fat, prioritize protein. I will always say prioritize protein, but you still need to make sure you're getting enough. Okay. I don't know how much fat you have on your body. I don't know how long you've been adapted. There's a very good chance that if you just got started, okay, that there's some adaptation that needs to happen. There is a different time frame for day-to-day fat adaptation and exercise level activity fat adaptation. Okay. Most people would get through general fat adaptation in anywhere from 3 to 10 days. Everyone's a little different, 3 to 10 days on average. Okay. For most people, if you are highly active, if you're used to doing things, or even if you're not and you're getting started, okay, the level of activity that you're doing kind of depends on it. How healthy you are in general depends on it. There's a lot of factors that go into it. But for a lot of people, it can be anywhere from 6 to 12 plus weeks before you start really feeling good in your workouts. Your body, think about it this way. Your body for day-to-day activity, the demand for fuel is lower than when you're exercising. So it doesn't take as much for your body to say, hey, I can handle this load. It's no big deal. Turn the faucet up a little bit. Got this. Okay, I'm fat adapted. Everything's cool. When you exercise, your body's like, I need more. I need more. I need more. And your hose isn't big enough for that yet. Your faucet isn't big enough for that yet, right? So you need to step up and then step up and then step up. So then eventually you can get that fat as the primary source while you're working out. Okay. You're 4 years in. Okay. That's awesome, Claire. So I would just say, it's possible that you're not getting enough fat. Again, I don't know how lean you are. That may be something if you want to get into. Oh, I'm going to make an announcement here too. If you guys didn't know, starting January, I'm doing group coaching sessions. Okay. Group coaching sessions is a 6-month bundle. Okay. I think it's $150. And we're going to get together once a month and we're going to go through questions just like what Claire is talking about. Okay. And answer questions and help you guys figure out specifically things that you can do at a way lower cost and way less impact on your wallet to kind of help you move forward. Right. I want to give as many people as possible some time to answer specific questions and get through things so they can move on to the next step and not be stuck where you are. Okay. So thinking about that, I think it's going to be the third Wednesday. Look at my website. I'll put it in here somewhere. I think it's the third Wednesday of every month. We're going to start having group coaching calls. I really hope you guys sign up for that. It's going to be an awesome time where we can kind of get to know each other, understand where everybody is, and work through things specifically to help people move on to the next step. Okay. Claire, it's very possible. That's another thing. Absolutely. Not eating enough in general is something that, okay, here's something, Claire, it's interesting. You say you're 69 years old. Okay. I've worked with a lot of women in their 60s. I don't know if it's, I would say it's probably just because we've been ingrained for so long that we can't eat. We don't need to eat. That restriction is the way to get healthy. It is very hard. I've worked with a lot of women in their 60s, and every single one of them has had a trouble eating enough food. Okay. Maybe it's just the years of having that mindset of restriction. But that is definitely something to think about and say, hey, maybe I do need to just eat more food. Okay. If you're eating meat, then I'll be honest with you, Claire, if you want to eat, you could get as much meat as possible and stuff your face every single day. Don't worry about the fat, cook it in butter, whatever you want to do, and see what happens, see how much energy you get. I think that'd be a great experiment. Okay. Christina the Carnivore. Hey, what's up? I love that name, Christina the Carnivore. I like that. I've been carnivore for over 3 years now, but I have weekdays due to my anemia, but I mostly eat red meat. Any suggestions? Are you taking an iron supplement? Number one. And are you eating enough? Those would be the two. That would be the first two questions. Again, that would be the first two questions. If you're eating mostly red meat, the anemia is curious, but there's a lot of questions there. That would be another question that I'd love to discuss with you. If you, one-on-one, or if you want to get on the group calls that we start in a couple of weeks. Okay, we're going to start those in a couple of weeks. My gosh, it's coming up fast. Then we can talk specifically, and I can get more information from you about what your exact situation is, and see if I can help you out there. So yeah, that's it, guys. Just remember, if you're keto, you are doing the right thing, and you are primed, ready to jump into fitness and get the most out of the work that you do, because you're doing the right thing on the nutrition side. Okay, that's all I got today, guys. If you have any questions, as always, please comment in here. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. Okay, Apex Health and Fitness Keto Carnivore. And don't forget, please share this information. Let other people know about the information I'm putting out there. I want to get to as many people as possible, and I need you guys to help me do that. All right, take it easy, and I'll see you definitely next Tuesday. There's another video coming out this towards the end of this week as well. All right, have a happy New Year's. See you.